Dawud alayhi salam was sitting in his chamber, and he was doing his ibadah, his worship. It was his day for worship. He had 4 days. One of his days was just for worship. 24 hours, he would just worship Allah in a chamber, locked away. Suddenly, 2 individuals climb over the wall that he's in, the chamber wall, and they drop in right in front of him, and he's shocked. How did they manage to get over that tall wall, the high wall? How did they do that? Anyway, they dropped in front of him. This is in the Quran in Surah Sad. When they dropped right in front of him, he's a little bit shocked, taken aback. But anyway, one of them began to speak. He said, "This is my brother. And you know my brother, he's very good at speaking. And you know, I've only got 1 sheep. He's got 99, and he wants to take my 1 sheep. He wants to take that as well, but he's so good at speaking. And you know, what am I supposed to do? He's got 99 already. I've only got 1, and he's trying to convince me I have to give that 1 to him." And the way he spoke, the way his words were, it was convincing that this person clearly is not good at expressing himself. And his brother, this other guy was his brother. And suddenly, straight away, Dawud alayhi salam, then he starts giving his judgment. He says, you shouldn't be telling your brother this. And he goes into giving advice. And then as he's giving advice, what happens is they disappear. They vanish. He realizes there were 2 angels that came to him as men with a situation. And Allah is testing Dawud alayhi salam. And he learned a big lesson. He went straight into ruku, kharra raki'a, and he went straight into ruku, and he sought forgiveness from Allah Azza wa Jal. Why? Because he had passed a judgment before listening to the other party. A big mistake, big lesson. Why did the Quran give us this? Quran is teaching us. Don't care who came to you, how they came to you. Have you heard both parties? And even if you hear both parties, I'm telling you as an imam, if a woman comes to me and says, "My husband this, that," I know almost 100% by the time I speak to the husband, her story is now not going to look as, it's 50% probably the truth, 50% might not be the truth, or 70% the truth, 30% not the truth. But when I speak to the husband, that's how he sings. Then whatever the husband said, I take his words back to the wife, and I say, "Hang on a minute, your husband said this and said that." Now she's gonna put missiles onto his turf. You know what I'm saying? With things that he said. And now the husband's words are looking like, "Oh my God, 50% is not true, 50% is probably true," and so on. And then, okay, let me come back to you. Then you speak to the husband, and he says, "Okay, I haven't started yet. I got Scud missiles." So he starts firing. "My wife this, my wife that, blah, blah, blah." History comes out. Whoa, easy. Tiger, sit down. Let me come back to you. You go back to the wife. She says, yeah, I'll show you some Apache helicopters right now coming down. Right? She's going to start firing with some other stuff that comes out. Oh my God. You go back and forth. And then you realize, you realize both have done mistakes. Both have had mistakes. That's usually the case. 99% of find both have done wrong, both have made mistakes, both have done things in the past. And this is where Islam teaches us that you need to be upright in how you deal with information that comes to you. Don't decide just because one person came to you.